abusia for me mama nyina kwa ba edeba Coffee TV and Diamond TV so me ni nsisa me di na de kire wa shodi anase akire mu nyima nso a nsem bi a ekoso no metime bo ase e de abro efa eye ye empaso agudi e na magye adwa e na me de bro unim se me shata de we ya na ye empaso agronko a na ne ye beka nsem afa eye one o partner one o husband e ha bro e bi a empaso agro na mudi empaso nkita ho a mu wi a de ben nesesa mo ye Emma bebre ayare wo saade no na memma nso bebre enso enya nsunsanso e wo saade wo so when your wife have sex bia in tempana e de nesesa wo ye so wunnim dia munim sa ha na ye tumra ne akyeresie ye tumra akyeresie mimi kyerɛkyerɛ mu ochi na me nua berma ana me nua ba no nso ato e de akɔ amano ne kasa e de amaw na ne ansa na no a me kyerɛkyerɛ mu ochi no munim se esese ye kwahwe brofo de ne wie ansa ye wie a ne abafie ne fie na me so mateme bo ase akyere mu e wo eye makua pem kasa ne mu e de amaw nti na me se bre no ye bisa se so wo no partner ana wo no husband ana wo no wife e have sex e wie after the sex no what do you supposed to do and no na enne ya gi adwa ye be hwenti me srawa this program if you are not 18 years please stay away from this program unless you are 18 before you can watch this program any day mo said ya meka no ene mami twa me ho embra mi twa me ho a anase ye nkɔhwɛ eye ye poto kasa na ya poto kasa no e de kɔ brofo mu no ye nkɔhwɛ said ya me nuabea no e de kyerɛkyerɛ mu e de ba e sɛ woni bɛma na woni wo husband e have sex wi a e de na ɛsɛ wo ye nkɔhwɛ video no ye ba mesometo ase e wo mikro mu kasa e de ama me di ni sign ni die ma enne e your first time I watch my channel na subscribe to my channel like na share na fa comment bra ye nkɔhwɛ video no ye ba
what you should do after having sex with your partner or with your spouse. And these tips I'm going to give you are like no other. They are going to help you minimize infection, the transmission of infections, and to stay healthy. The first point, and this is for both male and female, these points I'm going to give. The first point is you need to go pee after having sex, particularly for ladies, because the distance between their urethra, the opening of their urethra where urine passes through, and their bladder is very short. So if you had oral sex or if you had vaginal sex and there was a lot of fluid or a lot of other lubricant or a lot of other things that were present during the course of sexual intercourse, you may have those bacteria that were present actually just strolling to your bladder. And this is why it's important to go and pee, so that as you pee, you actually flush out or clear out your urethra, that passage road. After having sexual intercourse with your partner, both of you, both the male and female, should go pee. That's because any microorganism that would have been present during intimacy will find its way in through your bladder. And for the lady, it's much shorter. That is why a lot of women have urinary tract infections. So it is important that you go pee so that you actually flush that area, that tube, the urethra, and make it clean. And remember, it is very easy for microorganisms to find their way to your bladder. And for the male, it's good that he does the same, especially if he was having unprotected sex or oral sex. Bear in mind that there are a lot of microorganisms that are found in the human being's mouth. Watch my video on oral sex and oral hygiene and be empowered, be informed. Don't just do anyhow. Very important. The next thing you have to do is you need to wash your genitals. As a man, wash your private parts. Use water and use some soap and clean up yourself. And the woman, do the same thing. Wash your vulva, wash your clitoris. And this is because If you have any micro wounds, any micro openings on your skin, when that semen or when those microorganisms that were present during sexual intercourse start to find their way or try to find their way to this micro wound or these openings, they actually cause wound infections. It is very easy for bacterial, viral, and other fungal infections to be transmitted during this period. So when you pee after sexual intercourse, you reduce the chances of you having urinary tract infection. And when you wash your genitals after sexual intercourse with your partner, you actually reduce the chances of any viral warts, any human papilloma virus, any form of other diseases that may affect you or that may come in contact with your blood. The third point is you need to wash your mouth. You need to use a mouthwash, an antiseptic mouthwash, especially if you were doing oral sex. And even if you were kissing, yes, you need to use a mouthwash and rinse your mouth. I will really not advise you using a toothbrush because you may actually create micro opening or micro wounds in your mouth. And if you still have to kiss with that person, there could be some form of infection. But I would advise you to use an antiseptic wash to rinse your mouth. If you don't have an antiseptic wash, get some apple cider vinegar and dilute it in some water, in a glass of water, and you rinse your mouth and you drink some. So this is very important. Make sure you do that. You could actually also rinse your mouth with the antiseptic mouthwash. Then you get yourself some apple cider vinegar and actually drink some, so that any saliva, any exchange of saliva that may have occurred, because you obviously swallow some of the person's saliva, or maybe some seminal fluid from the man or some seminal fluid from the woman could actually contain some microorganisms. So when you actually drink this apple cider vinegar, which has therapeutic properties, it's actually an antibacterial, it's antifungal, and it's antiviral. So when you actually drink this, it's actually going to kill most of the microorganisms that may have found their way through your mouth and they are going to your digestive systems. So this is my advice for you guys. Please